Hey, this is Full Game Prometheus, the only YouTuber that actually gets you full games of all the tips and schemes he posts on his channel. I show you the good, the bad, and the ugly against online ranked opponents. Alright, so guys, I want to go ahead and show you another formation I found out of the Washington playbook that I'm going to go ahead and utilize in passing situations against my opponent. It is going to be the gun trips Y flex tight. Gun trips Y flex tight. Tight end on the right side is actually going to be put out like a wide receiver. Then we're going to have three wide receivers on the left hand side and a running back underneath. Now, what I like to do is I like to put my best wide receiver in the most inside slot position. So I do so by actually going ahead and flipping wide receiver 2, or obviously you can just go ahead and jump in there manually. But wide receiver 2 in slot will actually get my number 1 wide receiver in there. Now, we're going to take a look at 2 plays. So one of the plays we're going to take a look at is going to be the halfback angle. This will be able to attack my opponent off to the left-hand side, and I've also got a unique halfback angle route in the formation, so that'll force my opponent to compensate for that. But we need to go ahead and attack our opponent off the right-hand side, and we're going to do so with levels sail. Now it's going to be one fast hot route, and then we're off to the races, attacking our opponent off the right-hand side. So let's go ahead and jump into this play against random defenses. Alright, so with this play, basically we're going to make one adjustment. We're going to go ahead and take Jackson and we're going to put him on a slant route, and that's going to be our third progression with this route. We're going to look to see if it's man or zone coverage, and we're actually going to attack the corner route with man coverage with Reed, or if it's zone coverage and the flat is open, we're going to go ahead and attack Kelly. If not, we're going to make our next progression is going to be Jackson, and our last progression is going to be Crowder. The deep in route, which is the hot route or the red route that this whole concept is set up for, Garcon, we're not going to attack at all, just because defenders will float up into it. I don't really find a lot of success. Now, if the flat is open, we're going to go ahead and attack that. It'd be great if a running back would actually catch that ball. Let's go ahead and do that again. Defender was in the area, but you can see the crossing route just gets cleared out by that corner flat route by the defenders. Now, this is going to be a hot route type situation, so you want to basically get rid of that ball real quick against any kind of a blitzing situation like that. But we're running against random defenses, so we don't know what Madden's going to do on that. Now, what's good about this particular play is that you do have that back end crossing route on the back side. So I did force that ball in there. Let's see, man coverage with a good tight end is basically going to get destroyed with this play, especially if it's a zero blitz like that. So really what you're going to be looking for is these crossing routes right here. That's going to give you an extra blocker. You're going to pick up some pretty easy yards. Progressions off to the right. You got the crosser. You're going to pick up an easy 10 yards with that if your opponent's not playing the right coverage. Now sometimes what's going to happen is that your opponent's going to leave that backside blanket. He's going to come down, and you can always depend on that deep in route or that in route by Crowder to actually get a fairly easy completion. But you're really going to be trying to attack your opponent off the right hand side. You want to get the ball to Jackson. He's going to be probably the person where the ball is going to go to most. Just because of the way the coverage plays like that. So let's go ahead and jump into the next play, which is going to be the halfback wheel. This is going to be a complement to this play because this play is attacking your opponent off to the right, and you want to be able to go and attack your opponent off to the left to make them think about it, trying to cover both sides of the field. Alright, so the other play we're going to take a look at is going to be the halfback wheel. And you can almost run it stock, but I do like to make one adjustment. I played around with all different types of adjustments, and I think that taking the whip route on the number 2 wide slot receiver and putting him into a actual flat just pulls zones away or man coverages away to open up that red route, because the red route essentially is going to be the main route you're going to be looking at. So once again, this is going to be a fast adjustment. We're going to go ahead and take Garcon, which is our number 2 wide receiver, and we're going to go ahead and put him in a flat by actually going ahead and using the left stick. And you're going to have this route. And basically my progressions are going to be the following. I'm going to be looking for Jackson to see if any kind of defenders float in this area. And if anybody floats in his area, I'm going to go ahead and check down to the running back route because he's going to get really nice depth. So what's good about Jackson is that he's in this unique route that actually blows away a lot of coverages unless someone's actually floating into it. And I'm just going to go ahead and do a high percentage possession catch right there because he is floating into some defenders a lot of the time. And you can get yourself into some trouble if you force it in like I just did. Now the reason I actually go ahead and put the one route up top is because basically in that type of situation, I put the, you know, you've got one of those routes that you actually can attack your opponent for deep if he's actually got some kind of press coverage. So let's go ahead and see if I'm going to hit that again. If not, I've got this route, the flat on the backside, if the defender floats up with that route. Now it's going to give your opponent just a hard time stopping this particular route. Now I got rid of that ball a little bit too late, but let's go ahead and see if we can get this off one more time. There you go. So Jackson's able to come down with the ball, but if the defenders float up, basically what you're going to do is you're just going to go ahead and attack the flat, force your opponent to go ahead and defend that side of the field. So if you're using sail and then you're actually using this play against your opponent, he's going to have a hard time stopping this concept altogether. And if he does hard flats, basically it's just going to be very, very difficult for him. So you can see right there, the corner actually came in on a blitz and was able to go ahead and get rid of the ball real hot. This would be definitely a good play to go ahead and use against any kind of a cover two blitz scheme that most of the players are using nowadays. It's actually going to be fairly effective against that. So between these two different plays, you can definitely go ahead and effectively attack your opponent. If he's not paying attention, you can definitely go ahead and get very aggressive yards underneath to make it very difficult to stop. So guys, this is going to be a scheme I'm going to be using in my Washington Playbook series on MUT and in Draft Champions. It's going to be out of the gun trips, Y flex tight. Level sail, attack my opponent off to the right hand side, and then halfback angle to attack my opponent on the other side. And I do have a nice little inside zone. I've got verticals, and a vertical is play action cross that I can attack my opponent with too, just to keep him guessing. So if you guys are new to my channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be showing this in live games so you can see me make reads, misreads, mistakes, and make great plays with it. So to my subscribers, I appreciate your support, and until next time.